So we're all set up this morning. I'm just gonna quickly set up my light. The lighting actually is pretty good with these two massive windows either side of the painting, but I'm also just thinking about the video for you guys. I think it would be a little bit nicer if we had the light set up. So I'm just gonna quickly throw that up. And aside from that, we've made a start on this first room wall because they are hoping to open up just the coffee, I think on Wednesday. So try and get this room finished off, and then I can work on the back room by myself and just not be in the way of customers, etc. with the ladder. This grey at the moment that I'm putting up is a undercoat for the red sort of colour that we're working with, and that's just what the guy at the paint shop recommended to really get that saturated hue. But yeah, so far so good. It's really good to be back on the wall. I'm super excited to be painting murals again. And I'm keen to just get stuck into it today. Hopefully we'll make a good chunk of progress, and then I can come back Wednesday and Thursday and finish off. Making some pretty good progress in here. I've mainly been working on the koi fish, and whilst I've been waiting for that to dry, I've just jumped over and done a little bit of work on the lens over there. But at the moment, I'm just about to pull down the tape and create the yellow border around the menu whilst I wait for the rest of the fish and those lenses to dry. And then if I bring you in here, this is the other room that we are working on. So there's going to be a panorama piece that kind of goes on this wall, and this wall. But yeah, off to a good start today. Making quicker progress than I was expecting, so that is nice. And yeah, it's starting to come along pretty well.
This wall was pretty straightforward. We ended up deciding on this large scale koi design. Originally we sort of spoke about doing two koi fish, one at either diagonal side of the menu board, but yeah, we ended up opting for this larger scale concept, which overall I think fits the space a lot better. Has some really nice impact as you walk into the area, and the colors pop really hard. The colors are taken from their branding, so just another way to sort of further tie the branding into the overall space. And yeah, pretty much I'm just building up those layers. I was sort of jumping back and forth in between the lens and the koi fish here. And then yeah, finally just finishing off the menu board itself, patching up those holes, and then I'll come back later in the video to add some title cards for the menu board itself. But this room we got done pretty quick, and I spent sort of the majority of my time in the second room.
The majority of the koi fish, there's a few sort of highlights and shadows that I just want to make pop a little bit more. I've patched up 2 holes in the wall, so when I come back in on Wednesday, I'm just going to sand those back with another coat of white in the center of the menu board there. I've done both the lanterns down near the door as well. Same thing, I'm just going to wipe off the chalk. There's a couple of minor details I might tidy up as well. But that pretty much brings this main room just about to completion, and then we can jump across to the side room and start working on that. So I think by the sound of things, Wednesday they're going to be open for coffee, which is good. because I'm going to have this main room done so I can work out the back and not have to worry about getting in the way of customers. But yeah, so far really happy with how this is coming along. The koi fish in particular looks great, and I'm keen to get back into it on Wednesday. Outside it's about 23, 24 and sunny, so I think it's about beer o'clock. I'm going to head to the pub and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Here I am just mixing up some colors. I typically just use these little takeaway containers for when I am mixing my paint. They come in super handy when I sort of have a few primary colors or base colors that I want to use and mix in between, and then yeah, that allows me to come up with these additional shades for different sections of the piece. As I said earlier, I probably spent the majority of my time in this room. It ended up being somewhat time consuming in here and just a bit fiddly due to the fact of that all of these sort of different green mountain areas and sections all needed multiple coats, sort of around 2 or 3, just to get those strong bold colors, and then coming in over the top and adding details where they were sort of necessary. I started with the largest panel of the panorama, and then I worked my way around to the left and then to the back side of the room. This side definitely had the best lighting, as you walk into the room there's sort of like a large facing window that sort of had some pretty decent light all throughout the day. But because of that, my later footage of the back 2 panels weren't the best, as when I was recording it would sort of just get a bit blown out, or it would just be a little bit too dark in there. So I didn't film a whole lot on the back side, and I just sort of primarily focused on these front 2 pieces of the mural. But here, as you see, I'm just building up those wheat or long grass sections in the mural, and the way I sort of tend to do this is I start with darker layers and then I sort of just work my way to the front to the lighter sections and highlights, and just really try and sort of connect and contrast in between to sort of make that realistic approach sort of come to life, I guess. But yeah, jumping into the second panel, so this is the other panel that was pretty well lit, and then yeah, you'll see a little bit later in the video the 2 that were behind me were a little bit tougher, and I didn't have my lighting equipment there for the whole time. So yeah, but overall I was really happy with the design and the progress. By about this stage of the mural, was comfortably sort of getting through it, and I think in the end I got it all done in about 3 days.
Alright, and we've just finished off day 2. I've spent the majority of my day in the second room here. I'll give you a bit of a quick run through as to what I've gotten done today though. So I've finished off the koi now. It's pretty dark in here, but I'll make sure I get some final B-roll and photos of that. And I also finished off the lanterns up there near the door. And I think they also want to get like Vietnamese Deli on top of the door frame here on the outside, so I'll have to try and squeeze that in tomorrow as well. But yeah, and then we'll just walk back in the other room. And then back in the main dining room, I've been working on the largest panel for the majority of the day. Sort of spent a good chunk of the end part of the day on this wall here. Really loving my new ladder, also works as a scaffold, so that has come in clutch on this piece. But yeah, pretty big day today. I primarily was sort of trying to get in these underpainting, base painting layers, particularly you'll see in this one. I've really just sort of fleshed out where everything's going. Got that first coat down, trying to keep all the layers to 2 coats. So yeah, tomorrow's a big day. Got to finish both of these along with the 2 on the back wall near the window, but the 2 on this side are a lot smaller. So we'll see how we go. It's 5:30, I'm about to drive home in peak hour traffic, and it is pouring with rain now, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Final thing left to do was just to get these drip sections done. So just taking the different shades of green and blues that I used throughout the bottom section of the mural, and then just watering down my paint and allowing them to sort of flow down the wall. And yeah, overall, I think this was a really nice addition to the piece and really sort of tied things together. But for now, that video is it. It's been a bit of a gap between videos, so I'm happy to be posting again. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. If you did enjoy the video, throw us a like and subscribe.